when you work in your zone of genius, it really does help you show up in the best way and be your best self at the table every single day. Like imagine every single day being your best self. And then what you will need to do is you'll find allies who complement your superpowers. So for example, my bestie across the table from me is Brad. We have some things that overlap really well. Obviously, we're great dressers and we like take on a lot of stuff. We love to travel this world, but there are things that he does that he can only do in his way. And there are things I do in only my way. And we let each other rock those superpowers. So when you're finding people who can make your A team, and maybe it's just like an assistant for 5 hours a week, make sure that person understands your vision, your mission, your core values, but their strengths are different than yours. And so therefore you actually become the A team.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Oh, and stick around to the very end because we got some outtakes. That's been happening.
There's always outtakes, and the team does collect them for bloopers on the YouTube, but we're adding them into the end of the pod because you know what? You need to know that we are not perfect. You're not perfect.
And
Nobody's
we're
perfect.
enjoying the process.
And we are enjoying that. So have a good laugh on our behalf. Love you.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life are going to dig into the intricately comprehensive convo I had with Shay Kostabi in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to this interview, feel free to go back, pause this now, listen to it, come back and join us. If you are on the OPC app, which is free, you can actually see the episodes, like the latest ones and then the ones before it. So it makes it really easy for you to hit it and quit it and do whatever you want when you're play around with that. Anyways, I'm excited to be here. You guys, it is Thursday, June 8th, and it is National Best Friends Day. So you got to call them, you got to send them a text, you got to hug them if they're nearby. Brad, do you have a best friend you want to shout out on the show?
Yeah, I do.
Are they going to listen? Because if they're not, you don't have to worry about forgetting anybody.
I'm pretty sure they listen.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Well, it's a girl.
Oh, me.
Her name is Lesley Logan.
Okay. Thanks, babe. Shout out to you too.
Pretty sure you listen.
I do. I listen for, what do you call it? Quality control.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, sentimental. Love it.
Well, I'm going to text my besties. I'm not going to say them on this thing because I'm so afraid I'm going to forget one. I never want to win an Oscar because that's the fear I have in life. If you're like, what is this fear that she has? I have the fear that I would give a speech and then I would forget to say your name or something. And then it's all over the press.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, da 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 da, all the whispers. And it's fuck y'all. I just
Pretty sure my guy friends don't listen, but
I was going to say, really?
yeah, no, they don't. I'm actually pretty positive they
Yeah,
don't,
well,
so.
you just got back from camping with them, so they know you. They love you.
That's true.
And you love them. Okay, but also coming up, y'all, June 21st, it is the Profitable Pilates webinar on how to convert first-time clients and make them lasting clients forever. And so this is actually the first workshop I ever created. This is actually the workshop that started off on me business coaching because I didn't even know people had a hard time doing this because I was just doing it. And that's a side note. It's not. It sounds like a total brag, but honestly, listen, pay attention to the questions people are asking you because it means that you're an expert at something. So at any rate, I'm teaching that. It's $37. It's $25 you get on the early bird. It's $37 full price. I mean, come on, so cheap.
Yeah.
So you can get that wherever Brad's going to tell us or in the show notes below.
Yeah, we're going to put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Also, actually, you can't sign up now, so you'll get the waitlist link. That's
Yeah, you'll go to the wait list, and when you do, then you'll get the hookup.
Solid business owner over here. Okay, so July, we actually only have a couple spots left for the UK mullet tour. So that means business in the AM, Pilates in the PM, business in the front, party in the back, where are my elder millennials, Gen Z peeps. This is going to be probably the only time we do this in the UK anytime soon. So sign up at opc.me/UK. August, Summer West Coast Tour. Oh my gosh, hitting up our favorite cities, or at least the cities with some of our favorite people all across across the West Coast. That means California, Oregon, Washington. So West Coast, Best Coast, do not miss out on this because we are not hitting you up all the time. So opc.me/tour. September is Poland. You need to sign up now. Contrologypilatesconference.com. Me, Joel Crosby, Karen Frischman. It's all in the Contrology equipment, which you know I love. And I'm hitting Poland for the first time in over 4 years. And I don't know when I'm coming back. So this is the time. And we're bringing the flashcards, which means you don't have to pay the shipping. We're putting them in the bags and we're getting them there. In October is Cambodia. We've got a couple spots left. That is our favorite retreat. It's our annual retreat. We're only doing one this year, and we have some badass babes coming from all over the world. All over. I'm so excited to squeeze all of them. So that's at lesleylogan.co/retreat. All these links are below, so you can just like click on them in the app. Do you know how you do this? Like you look at the podcast, you'll see the title and just swipe it up on your phone, and it's all right there. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description, so it's right there. Before we get into the amazing Shay, who is like my sister from another Mr. Mother and like lifetime. Brad, do we have an audience question?
Yeah, we totally do. So today, Allison Ritter asked, what are the benefits of Pilates over 40?
You know, Allison, I want to know if you're related to John Ritter because, or Jack Ritter, is that his name? The guy from Three's Company.
Couldn't tell you.
His son and I used to drink at the same bar together. Super cool dude. Anyways, Allison, great question.
Like every part of that just went right over my head. Awesome.
Do you remember the Blue Dog in the Valley, Brad?
I remember.
They had the best salad. It was called a spa salad. I still remember what was the ingredients were. It was amazing. And it was across the street from my apartment in the Valley. And I lived in this apartment that you just didn't want to stay in when you were there by yourself. So I would I would go past the Whole Foods and to this house that was made into a bar. It was called the Blue Dog, and you could bring your dogs. And I would go there alone. I'd sit at the bar, and always Jack Ritter's son. Maybe his name is Jack Ritter. Maybe John Ritter's the dad. Anyways, the son of the Three's Company guy would be sitting there, and we would just hang out and have this amazing salad together. It was so fabulous. Anyways.
John Ritter.
John Ritter was the son or the dad?
The dad.
And what was the son's name? Jack?
Did not look it up.
Okay, well, it's fine. Anyways, what are the benefits of Pilates over 40? So, as a 40-year-old, Allison, this is an amazing question. So here, I'm going to answer this question in a couple of ways. One, most of my female clients were over 40 when I started teaching them. And what I saw happen to their bodies is incredible stuff. So is this scientifically proven? No, I never paid for that, but I'm going to tell you what my experience was. Posture is key, especially as we get older. And just the more time, especially women who have kids, women who care for people, they tend to be hugging and leaning over computers a lot and cooking a lot and cleaning a lot, and everything is forward. So when you do Pilates, it actually does help reverse that curve, whether it's tech neck or just like love neck. You got to get those shoulders back. You got to get the head over your neck. Just like leaning over people and caring for them, like holding like this. Anyways, so the reality is it does help their posture, which does, you guys, being it till you see it. When you have amazing posture, you just exude confidence, and people think you're more confident than you are. So that's amazing. The other things that it does, Pilates is low impact. And so especially when you're over 40, depending on what's going on with your body, autoimmune diseases, osteopenia, things like that, because of Pilates' low impact benefits, you can do this workout as much as you want and not be afraid of like breaking shit. So that's awesome. Or inflaming shit. This shit would be your bones, your joints, organs, all that good stuff. So Pilates is something really amazing for you in that aspect. The other reality is when you are over 40 and you start to hit perimenopause, if you haven't already, for my early menopausal ladies, I see you, I hear you, I understand what's going on in your life. Your cycle comes at different times, like unexpected. And so if you didn't know this, men have a 24-hour cycle, which means they can work out whenever the fuck they want, and they could do they don't actually have to go, today I should do low impact because yesterday was like my mid luteal. They actually don't have to do that. Women, you do. There are days in your cycle that you can like take it hard. You can do double the workouts. You can do back to back. And then there are days in your cycle when you need to like lay off that ish. So here's the deal. Pilates can happen anytime during your cycle. So you don't actually have to worry about canceling a session or skipping a workout because you can actually do this at any time during your cycle. So that is huge because you just don't know when your cycle is going to happen. And then let's just be real. When you get older, you need workouts that support the lifestyle that you want to live, and they're going to keep you stronger longer. Pilates is a strength-based workout. So, hey, muscles that stress your bones in a good way, but also stretch.
Yeah, I was going to say it also probably shout out to the Reformer and Cadillac, because it's, when you put stress on your bones, it helps strengthen them. So
yeah.
That's a great
we
way
can
to
throw
do
the
it.
winded chair in there if we want to.
Chair as well. Yeah.
Little foot corrector, all that good stuff. So when you're over 40, you actually have to work out more than you think, because the little that went a long way when you're 20 doesn't do that anymore. I'm just gonna be real honest. It's amazing what you can't do when you're 40 that you could have done when you're 20. So there's that. But also, the sooner you do Pilates, the better. And as soon as you get started is the perfect time. And also, like, just understanding that it is really nice on your body. Like, there are days we go to the gym and I'm like, I'm 40. Like, I felt that. Well, Brad, you can you're 40, almost 41 now. Like,
I know.
This year's
crazy.
Murph to last year's Murph. Tell me how you feel.
I don't feel like we did a good job preparing for this year's Murph.
Yeah.
I definitely, when we were traveling in Korea, I did very little working out.
You did the hike.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't prepare for that either. So, yeah.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah. Yeah. But the year before, because we were so consistent with our workouts and we were in town, it definitely sucked, but it was like, I felt like I was able to do it. Because we accidentally did a Murph, or not accidentally, she snuck in a Murph the week ahead of time.
She snuck in a half Murph.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, we can do this. No, this time around was pretty brutal, but I'm glad we did it. That's good.
But the aftermath.
I about died on that last fucking mile, I'll tell you.
I know. But also the day after and the day after that.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days later, I was sore for sure.
One thing that I love, Allison, about Pilates is no matter what, when I do Pilates the next day, I'm not like, oh, I'm 40.
Yeah.
So hopefully the too long didn't read is, what are the benefits of doing Pilates after 40? You don't ever regret a Pilates workout after 40. You might regret a gym workout like a Murph. All right, let's move on to Shay Kostabi.
Okay, now let's talk about Shay Kostabi. Shay Kostabi is an innovative fitness business coach and creator, passionate about transforming lives by guiding heart-led businesses, helping clients carve unique paths to mastery, and in finding their own superpowers.
She's so cool.
She's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, you can listen to her and I continue to gab on over on her podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fitness Career Mastery.
Yeah.
We went overtime on that as well.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
I know her husband did the intro and she was like, oh my gosh, he's going to be like, ladies. Anyways, so she said something like authenticity is overrated. And I think it's really interesting because people are like, be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. And actually everyone saying that is like the least authentic. They're like pretending to be authentic and like, look how authentic I am. But she actually was like, you need to be consistent. And she actually said, they want to know that you're going to be for them and that there's some accountability there. And
Be there for them.
Yeah, you can be there for them. And that there's accountability for them and that they can bank on a certain number of things to help them and get what they want. So here's the thing. She brought up core values and she brought up your mission and she brought up your superpowers. There is actually a scientific study in the personal training world. And it doesn't matter if you're a Pilates instructor or not, if you are in service-based business or you're just trying to create long-lasting relationships. The method is called SCARF, SCARF, SCARF method. And I don't ever remember all the letters in the acronym, but I remember a couple of them.
Status.
Yeah, status is like who's in charge of what in that dynamic, but not in a condescending way. And then there's C for certainty.
Yes.
People need to know that, like, I'm going to speak from a Pilates perspective because that's what I do. Shay does like a lot of spin. The class starts this way. The class ends this way. The session starts this way. The session ends this way. I'm going to feel like this when I leave, always, all the time.
It's your promise.
If I show up and today's a stretch class, but then tomorrow is like the fucking Murph, don't know that I'm going to come on the next day because like I don't know what I'm going to get. Like it's like, who's in charge here? So C is certainty. A is
authenticity.
no, autonomous.
Oh, it's autonomy. Sorry.
Authenticity is overrated.
Good job. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Being autonomous. So people need to know that they could actually do some of these things on their own. And so, so when you combine like being consistent and being true to your core values, aka knowing them, and then having a mission, like why the fuck are you doing this? Why are you showing up? Why are you serving people? What is this all about? And then just like owning your superpowers, which I find too many people. Brad, I'm sure you see this too because of agency. Like we ask people, like, what is your uniqueness? Like, what is your superpower? And they're like, I'm nobody.
Yeah,
I don't know anyone
I don't
like
know.
me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get to the last ones here. Relatedness is being part of a community. Fairness is the perception that interactions between people are unbiased, meaning that people aren't judging each other inside of that community. So I love this. I love this Garth method. It's a great idea.
It's so good, you guys. We need to do a whole thing on it instead of agency. Anyways, it's my favorite thing.
But the idea that authenticity was overrated, I think what she meant by that, or the way I'm interpreting that is, I think that authenticity is required and it's assumed that you are authentic because it's because of your authenticity that people were drawn to you in the first place. But your authenticity does not carry your entire program. Your consistency carries your program.
Yeah.
They're drawn to you by your authenticity, right? But the reason that she's saying authenticity is overrated is because that's not the end of it. You have to be you, and then you have to actually deliver.
Well, also because like I'm authentically me all the time, but that doesn't mean that if I were to bring my like nighttime self to teach a class, I think no one would come again because it'd be like, all right, guys, I'm going to put my podcast on. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like that would be authentically me, but that's not me owning my core values of being along with my mission in the time that I'm serving the people that I'm with, you know? So I agree. Like I like how you put that there.
All right. So one thing that I really loved that she said is that persona is not a character. It's not a mask that you put on. You're not faking it till you make it, right? The idea of being it till you see it is that your persona is something that is a refined and intentional version of yourself, right? So your best self. And that is being it till you see it, right? And she believes that we are all given talent in this world, and it's a God-given gift for people who operate on intuition, and the instinct is powerful, but it's also primal and dangerous because instinct is inconsistent.
It's like motivation. Like it shows up like for the party, but then it goes away. Whereas as instinct can like show up and it could be great in like in a split second, you got to make a decision, but also you could react terribly and then like make decisions out of fear or teach things out of fear or whatever.
Yeah. I think if I remember her conversation correctly, she was talking about people who set up businesses versus people who run businesses. Your instinct helped you set up the business. But you might not have that same instinct when it comes to running and growing the business. And so therefore it's inconsistent.
Thank God for you. I'm so good at setting up a business. I'm not good at running a business.
Yeah, I'm still working that out too. But
thank God for you.
So she started talking about using tools and showing up with intention, creating a systematic approach. And then she believes that sometimes creating your own persona, like a character like Clark Kent and Superman, it's a helpful vision, right, for you to decide who your best self is going to be. And then she said, don't forget, you are allowed to change. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to abandon a persona that you no longer see yourself as. I think, like, for example, for me with this would be when I was younger, I saw myself as a musician. And I defined myself as a musician. It was actually, my worldview was everything I did was like, how is this going to benefit my music career and everything like that? And over time, I came to this conclusion that I am a musician, but it's not the end all game for me. It's something that I am, but it's not my it's not who I am in every aspect of my day and of my life. And it took me a long time to be okay with deciding I'm actually a businessman, right? And that was weird. That shift for me was weird. But, you know, once I let go of it, it was actually relieving. I was like, okay, this is okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, but it took a minute. Anyway, I mean, the you know, being it till you see it, you know, like the idea of putting on, you know, like shifting into the best person of yourself, like Superman from Clark Kent, you know, that's a helpful tool that we can use to shift into these different modes, you know, as we're moving forward.
I agree.
All right, finally, let's talk about that be it action item. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action item can we take away from your convo with Shay Kostabi?
You're going to go first.
Okay, I'm going first. She said, make a Venn diagram, right? And I thought this was interesting. And if you should go back and listen to this because I'm not going to explain. Well, hell, let's just get into it. 3 overlapping circles, right? You got the middle is like that weird, not quite triangle situation happening.
Oh, she's doing 3. So it's like, it's not.
So
it's
the
not,
middle will have like it's like a diamond almost, but it's not a diamond.
Yeah.
So, you know, in circle number 1, you're going to write your core values. These are the non-negotiable things that matter to you, things that give your life meaning, purpose, and direction. Circle number 2, you're going to write your abilities and skills, those that you were gifted with by nature or nurture, some you've acquired along the way. Right? So core values, your abilities and skills. And your third is write down your interests, you know, the things that you're actually drawn to, the things that you love to do. The best way to do this is to look at your bank account and your calendar, was a tip from her. So you've got your core values, your abilities and skills, and then you've got your interests. And then that center diamond.
Working out, shopping, coffee.
Yeah, right. That center diamond, she said this is actually, that's going to be blank until you can look at these 3 things and make a connection on where the overlap actually is. And that diamond in the middle is going to be your superpower. So, you know, this is the gift that you bring to the world. You're doing a disservice to yourself and everyone around you if you are not showing up and using your superpower every single day.
Couldn't agree more. Live in that little diamond. Be the diamond.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think we should do this.
I think
you and
Beyonce told us, shine bright like a diamond.
Yeah,
Was it her?
she did.
Yeah.
You and I should do this, and we'll come back on one of the future pods, and we'll share our superpower.
Okay, you should write that down because we're going to forget.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Meredith, task us with that. Okay, my biggest takeaway. She said, build your A-team to help you. So you guys, we talk about this all the time. Like one of the questions I get all the time is like, how do you do it all? I don't. I have an A-team. So you may not know this already. And if you're like, listen to all that Venn diagram stuff and you're like, I got my interest. What about the other stuff? Ask your friends. Ask them to tell you like, how do they perceive you? What do they think your skill sets are? Where do they find you like the strongest? And that can help you. But also, when you figure out what those things are, ask them how that resonates and really truly like get some perspective on that. Now, make sure you ask like the people. Don't ask your mom. I mean, hi mom, love you. But like ask the people who like you feel like you show up as your true self and not like as the daughter of somebody else, unless your mom is your best friend, like it can happen. Right. So when you do these things, you can get your purpose, you can get your direction, you get your mission. And she also brought up like when you work in your zone of genius, it really does help you show up in the best way and be your best self at the table every single day. Like imagine every single day being your best self. And then what you will need to do is you'll find allies who complement your superpowers. So for example, my bestie across the table from me is Brad. We have some things that overlap really well. Obviously, we're great dressers and we like take on a lot of stuff. We love to travel this world, but there are things that he does that he can only do in his way. And there are things I do in only my way. And we let each other rock those superpowers. So when you're finding people who can make your A-team, and maybe it's just like an assistant for 5 hours a week, make sure that person understands your vision, your mission, your core values, but their strengths are different than yours. And so therefore you actually become the A-team. And if you looked at, like, I've never watched all of the Marvel movies for sure, but I've watched a couple Fast and the Furious. So I'm going to go there. If you look at the people who drive the cars in the Fast and the Furious, they all have different skill sets. Like some of them, like that one girl, the British girl, she's like super good with like coding and tech and all this stuff. And then there's like other people who are really good with like these kind of cars or these bombs or these things. And so like they don't like alone, they're terrible. They like get in trouble. They get stuck. They're like hanging off a cliff. I don't know how they do that. And then together, they're like this amazing A team. So sorry for the Superpower Marvel people. I don't watch those movies, but I know that one.
Fast and Furious is not Marvel, but we'll go with it.
I know it, but I didn't say that. I don't know Marvel.
Yeah.
I only know who Logan is.
Oh, you're good.
Is he a Marvel? I don't think so.
No.
He's Wolverine. I've shown up to a superhero movie and I was like, when does Logan show up? He's the only character I know. And they're like, wrong category of movies.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
X-Men is Marvel. So Wolverine is Marvel.
Oh, so what is the other one?
DC. Marvel or DC?
Jesus Christ, there's too many. Okay, well, anyways, you know what? Clearly not my zone of genius, my husband's. And so I have him to help me find the movies. Get your A-team together. You guys, Shay is a woman to re-listen to. I found that this podcast is could be a workshop. It could have been a whole series. And she's an incredible coach at what she does. So make sure you check out the links about her Instagram, all that stuff. Tag Shay, tag the Beit Pod with what your favorite takeaways were. And also know that it's a work in progress. Like when it comes to your superpowers, when it comes to your uniqueness, when it comes to your mission, it kind of gets better and better over time as you get better and better at being yourself and being it till you see it. And so I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
How are you going to use these tips in your life? I want to know. First of all, do me a humongous favor. Share this with a friend because that's how this podcast gets out. We are about to hit 2 years, and I would truly love to have the most amazing number of downloads we've ever had by the time we hit 2 years. And I can only do that with you. I can't do that on my own. It's impossible. You're part of my A team. And you can do that by texting people, sharing it with people, showing it to them, putting your earbud in their ear. And, I don't know. People don't like that. Maybe give them their own earbud, but, do the thing. And, and until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is produced and edited by the epic team at Diseño.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals and Semena Velazquez for our transcriptions.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all the content to our website, and finally to Meredith Crowell for keeping us all on point and on time.
Belle, I'm really impressed with myself that I could say those words together. I'm just going to say that out loud to everyone can hear it because you guys, I don't always say words like that. How do you say that? Correctly? I was in speech therapy, y'all.
You nailed it.
I nailed it.
All right.
I know. I did speech therapy as a kid.
That's a thing?
Well, I made it. I don't know. It's a thing now. Love neck. I don't know. People's brains might be going everywhere on that one.
Oh, man. Here we go.
So it happens when we record on a Saturday night.